What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ticker Fee video and welcome to the Ticker Fee family. As you can see, the ticker symbol we're going to be talking about today is SOS or SOS Limited. So what we're going to be talking about is how they announced the completion of the Phase 1 mine and receipt of the 575 ETH mining rigs, as well as the SOS alert, which is going to be the Klein law firm announcing the lead plaintiff deadline, which is June the 1st, 2021, in the class action filed on behalf of SOS Limited shareholders. Then we're going to finish this video off with the hyperinflation and inflation of volatility explanation, which has been taking place in March and April. So a little bit of details on that towards the end of the video. So I would definitely tune in towards the end of the video. So thank you so much for supporting me. Welcome to the channel for those that are here for the first time, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so if you actually go on my channel on Ticker Feed and click on the video tab, if you scroll down to about 4 weeks, that was the last update. So there's quite a few events that have been taking place. So what has happened so far? So with SOS Limited, they just reported their 4-year financial results for 2020, and the revenue grew at a great pace. Now, the company recently started mining Bitcoin and Ether tokens. Now, the tokens are native to Ethereum blockchain, but it didn't start mining until after 2020 was complete. So now what? So according to the documents filed by the SEC, SOS Limited generated over $50 million in revenue in 2020, which is great, which is astounding, honestly, 334% from less than $12 million it generated in 2019. Now, of its total revenue, 84% came from a single insurance marketing customer, Beijing Sense Timing Information Technology. But this customer only accounted for 69% of SOS revenue in 2019. Therefore, this customer went from spending roughly $8 million in 2019 to over $42 million in 2020, accounting for SOS colossal top-line gains. Now, going forward, Bitcoin and Ethereum will start to be more important as part of the SOS revenue structure. So I just wanted to kind of elaborate on what's been going on. Now, let's break down the new Phase 1 and then the Klein law firm announcement dates. All right, so SOS announces the completion of the Phase 1 of the mine and receipt of 575 ETH mining rigs. Now, this was announced today with the cryptocurrency mining rigs that have been delivered. So SOS leased approximately 1350 or 1350 square meters of space from the hydropower station in late March. Now, SOS started the construction of a cloud cryptocurrency mining center and has recently completed the first phase, which I've highlighted, approximately 300 square meters, which can be accommodate approximately 1,100 rigs. Now, previously announced purchase of the 575 ETH mining rigs were received on May the 7th, again, which is today. So the company expects its team should be able to complete the inspection and installation of these rigs in the near future. So I'm thinking Q3, Q4. Now, upon completion of the installation, which this is going to show up on the catalyst towards the end of this year, the full online operation of all these mining rigs, the company expects to obtain approximately 400 GH of ETH hash. So that's what I wanted to point out. Great information. It's going to be yet another catalyst that's going to benefit us in the future. Now let's check out the Klein law firm announcement. Okay, so when it comes to the Klein law firm, I want to just kind of demonstrate that this is not a surprise. The Klein law firm announces a plaintiff with all these companies. So you see SOS alert, RMO alert, CAN alert, XL alert. So this is what they do. This is not a surprise. They do these class action complaints filed on behalf of so-and-so for these stocks and these situations. So again, I just want you to see this. That way you know what's going on, but don't be too worried about with this situation. Okay, so this is the other thing. If you actually go on their website and look at the Klein Law Group, you'll see New York workers' compensation, Social Security disability, personal injury, and employment law. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see personal injury, again, wage and hour, construction accidents, employment law. So this company is in all the sectors in the world. So of course they're just going to add another thing to it. So again, don't be surprised. I just wanted to show their website link just to demonstrate, what this law firm's all about. Okay, so SOS alert. The Klein Law Firm announces a lead plaintiff deadline of June 1st, 2021 in the class action filed on behalf of the SOS Limited shareholders. So this Klein Law Firm announced this action complaint alleging that the company violated federal security laws. So the class period is July 22nd, 2020 and February 25th, 2021. Now the lead plaintiff deadline is June 1st, 2021. So the filed complaint alleges that SOS Limited made materially false and or misleading statements and or false to disclose that SOS had misrepresented the true nature, location, and or existence of at least one of the principal executive offices listed in the SEC filings. HY and FXK were either undisclosed related parties and or entities fabricated by the company. The company had misrepresented the type and or existence of the mining rigs that it claimed to have purchased, and as a result, the company's public statements were materially false and misleading at all relevant times. Now, for my personal opinion, I don't think anything's going to come of this. If they do close it, it's going to be a small amount. I don't think that's going to affect our stock. But again, I always try to keep you updated on the latest news with what's going on with this stock. That way, when you see a catalyst on the charts and you see it go up, or if you see it go down, you know why. Now, let's actually check out the chart and finish this video off with the price prediction and what's going on with inflation and the fear of hyperinflation. So let's look at a quick little recap. So you've got May 5th, SOS announces they had a net profit of $4.4 million versus $1.5 million in 2019. Sales $50.3 million, up to 334% year over year, which is amazing, which is a great catalyst. And again, that's no surprise. We've been up to date on what's been going on with them, the type of products and services they have. And again, it's great, good information, and it's always going to help us down the road. Now we're looking at the SOS complete phase 1 of this new mine. Reports of this completion is going to be a catalyst. So we've got a high of $15.88. Now on that day, we're looking at February 17th. Again, January and February were great, but with that being said, you have a volume of 197 million. Now we fast forward to where we're at today, and it's a volume of 21 million. Great major discrepancy between just in February versus today. So again, it's not a surprise because of the volatility and what's been going on in the market with March and April. So that needs to be pointed out. But the support and resistance are equivalent, which I've seen over many stocks, over all the stocks that I've been talking about here recently. So again, that's something to point out, but I want you to see. So again, a volume of 21 million. We closed at $3.91. Now I'm still thinking in Q3 and Q4, that's when we're going to have an upward trend, not only for our stock, but for many other stocks. And so for me, for the price prediction, I'm looking at 430, 450 as my new price prediction, and that's going to be Q3, almost Q4. Now, again, thank you so much for listening to this video. At the end of this video, we're going to be talking about inflation, hyperinflation, and how the stocks have been so volatile. With inflation and the effects of the stock in the market, so the growth sector was down today, continuing this teasing pattern. It's going on with the growth stocks. You can just see it. Now, the short-term traders themselves are winning the majority of these trades, and that's what's been going a lot in the stock. Now, during the pandemic, household has been their cash are at record levels. Now, Americans have these saving rates, right, that have continued to stay high. Now, more Americans are slowly spending money, and what is happening is that you're seeing prices go up. Now you are paying for the more basic items that you weren't a year ago. Now, rising consuming prices are in this US chart, which you can see. So the percentage change is an average unit price versus previous year, which is the latest 52-week period ending April 10th, 2021. So groceries has gone up 2.6%. The household care has gone up 5.2%. Baby care is 7%. And then you've got general merchandise, which is going to be 7.1%. Now, also you're going to be able to look at is going to be the U.S. retail gas prices. Now, with that, if you look at this chart, the gas prices are going from $1.88 to $2.96. Now, a year ago, there was a lot less demand due to lockdowns. Now, when demand completely comes back, you will see that the gas price increases even more. Gas has rose 9% in March alone. Now, if you actually look in California, you'll see with gas prices, it's actually around $4 or even higher, which is pretty crazy. Now, when it comes to cars, used cars prices soar and the sticker shocks may get worse, which is not a surprise if you've bought a car here recently, especially according to this article. As well as if you look at home builders, the cost of material has skyrocketed. So cars have a record demand but limited supplies due to the supply chain issues. And then if you actually look at asset classes such as stocks, home, cryptocurrencies cost more than they did last year. So the question is, why is it happening? So there is a massive supply chain issues. There's the delay of shipments due to the pandemic with trade. People are going to go out and start spending their savings, which is going to make an option or an opportunity for deflation. Now, if it goes back to pre-pandemic, you will start seeing money flowing around, which is going to be great. Now, look on how the inflation is reported. If you compare April 2021 to April 2020, it appears more inflation. Now, April 2020 was in a deflationary environment. Now, when everything is starting to pick up, numbers appear worse due to this comparison. Now, here's the thing. If you actually compared 2017, 2018, and 2019, that creates a better picture. Now, probably seen that a lot of our articles have hyperinflation, and they are printed on a ton of money. So, obviously, you'll have to see there are these articles that show 12 warning signs of U.S. hyperinflation. So, this is one of those articles. Now, what I want to show you is that there is a massive inflation according to these articles, but banks save more money during inflation and they don't distribute out to the public for liquidity, and that is only needed during a crisis. So inflation is not bad. Hyperinflation, that is where the feds will increase the interest rates, which requires someone to take on more money and more risk. Now, high multiple stocks will go down dramatically during a rapid hyperinflation. Now, a lot of these stocks have factored in hyperinflation, so you're going to as well see that in the stocks. But most value stocks are increased from pandemic highs. Now, during the summer, we are going to see the growth rates go up and up on these growth stocks. Okay, so as well as I want to point out when it comes to inflation or the inflation scare, look at all these articles from 2009 all the way to 2018. You got inflation scare, crazy but real. My inflation nightmare. Inflation, a high price to pay. So as you can see, through these years, clearly all these stocks have continued to rise and people have been making great profits. But when you look at these articles, you can see that there are people that are trying to put fear into it. So I wanted to point this out, because not everybody notices this, especially if this is the first time or the first year that you're going into buying stocks.